Hello students, welcome back to Career Power Hyderabad powered by Adda 24/7. So students, today we'll see the important current affairs, but before going into the video, please subscribe our YouTube channel, like and share our videos, join the Telegram channel and download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We'll provide the links in the description as well as comment section below. So let us see the first current affair for today. So PM Modi, he launched the blockchain technology based digital degrees at IIT Kanpur. Okay, so at the 54th convocation ceremony at IIT Kanpur, so these digital degrees were launched by PM Modi. So these degrees can be verified globally and they are unforgeable. You can't forge them, you can't duplicate them. So these degrees were developed using the blockchain technology. So it was developed in-house by the IIT Kanpur. So please remember, digital degrees launched by IIT Kanpur using blockchain technology. So PM Modi laid foundation stone for 4 hydropower projects in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Okay, so at a cost of nearly 11,000 crores in Mandi in Himachal Pradesh, PM Modi has launched this hydropower projects. So at a cost of 2,080 crores, the Sarva hydropower project was launched, and also he laid foundation stone for Renuka Ji dam project at a cost of 7,000 crores. Okay, so this project was pending from last 3 decades. So other projects like Luhri stage 1 hydro project and Daulat Sidh hydropower project, so the first projects in Hamirpur districts, so they were also inaugurated by PM Modi. So Himachal Pradesh Governor Rajendra Alekar and Chief Minister Jairam Thakur. So Japan launched world's first dual mode vehicle. So Japan has introduced this minibus look-alike, you can see it's like a minibus look-alike, world's first dual mode vehicle in the town of Kayo. Okay, so this vehicle can run on normal rubber tires, and when it enters into the railway track, it will run on steel wheels. Okay, so it can carry up to 21 passengers. It can run at a speed of 60 kilometers on rail tracks and 100 kilometers per hour on public roads. So this particular machine is powered by diesel. So a small fleet of vehicles are coming up in different colors. It will run on the coast of the Shikoku Island in the southern Japan region. So this will connect many small towns and offer attractive seaside scenery. So this is about the dual mode vehicle launched in Japan. So Japan capital Tokyo, currency is Japanese yen. Prime Minister is Fumio Kishida, so recently elected Prime Minister. So the Emperor of Japan is Naruhito. So please remember, very important, this is the flag of Japan. And India and Japan, you can see it is very far, it is in the Southeast Asia region. Okay, so Japan country, so very good friend to India, so please remember. So Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar, so he launched Haryana Kaushal Rozgar Nigam web portal. So the Haryana government recently has launched the Haryana Kaushal Rozgar Nigam Limited. So this particular program is mandated to deploy contractual manpower and manpower of outsourced category in different government departments. So very simple, to provide jobs in government departments. So contract jobs in government departments is the duty of this Haryana Kaushal Rozgar Nigam Limited. So in order to enhance this, they have brought out a Haryana Kaushal Rozgar Nigam portal, web portal. So this was launched by the Chief Minister of Haryana. Okay. So also the Chief Minister announced to set up Atal Park and Smriti Kendra in Gurugram. And also he honored 78 officers and employees who delivered best services in various fields. He also launched a program, a magazine and an official calendar of the Haryana government, and also magazine called the Vyavastha Parivartan Se Sushashan. So this magazine was launched by the Haryana Chief Minister. So Haryana Governor is Bandaru Dattatreya. So next, Karnataka government has partnered with NPCA and SBI to implement e-Rupee. Okay, so the Karnataka government has partnered with the National Payments Corporation of India and State Bank of India to enable e-Rupee payment solution to students under its scholarship program. So under this program, the students will be given this e-Rupee vouchers by the government, and students can use these vouchers to pay fees to the colleges where they are studying. So it's a contactless, cashless payment solution provided by NPCI, mainly to ensure leak-proof delivery transactions. So government will give this voucher, you can see on the picture, this is the prepaid e-voucher. This voucher to student will give the voucher to the college, where college can scan and they can deduct the amount. So this is about the e-Rupee voucher. So launched by Karnataka state, so Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, Governor Tawar Chand Gehlot. So who launched this along with the NPCA and SBI? So NPCA, established in 2008, headquartered in Mumbai. So it is mainly the umbrella organization for all the retail payment systems in India. So along with SBI, so SBI established 1955, headquarters Mumbai, chairman Dinesh Kumar Kara, tagline Suraksha aur Bharosa dono. So Vikram Mishri is newly appointed as the Deputy National Security Advisor. So he is appointed as the Deputy National Security Advisor in the National Security Council Secretariat. So Mishri, earlier he worked as the ambassador to China. You know, recently Pradeep Kumar Rawat was appointed as the ambassador to China. So Vikram Mishri, who was working there, is now the Deputy National Security Advisor. He also worked in the Ministry of External Affairs and also in the Prime Minister's office. He has a lot of experience mainly in the China's issues, and also he worked in various missions in Europe, Africa, Asia, North America. Now he will report to the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. So along with Vikram Mishri, there are other Deputy National Security Advisors like Rajendra Khanna, Pankaj Saran and Dattatreya. Okay, so please remember Vikram Mishri, the Deputy National Security Advisor. So CP Goyal was appointed the Director General of Forest and Special Secretary of the Ministry of Environment, Central Government. So in the Central Government Ministry of Environment, Indian Forest Service Officer Chandra Prakash Goyal was appointed as the Director General of Forest and Special Secretary of the Ministry. Okay, so he belonged to 1986 batch. So he earlier worked as the Principal Chief Conservator of Forest in the state of UP. So this is about CP Goyal, DG of Forest. So RBI has brought out a new report called Trend and Progress of Banking in India. So in this report, RBI gave the financial performance of the country, of the different banks. So the financial performance of banks has improved, says this report. So there was a fall in gross non-performing asset ratio, mainly for the scheduled commercial banks. So this report is titled as the Report on Trend and Progress of Banking in India. So they said that there is a rise in profitability of the scheduled commercial banks in India and also reduction in expenditure. So the reason for profitability is reduction in expenditure, not because of increase in income. Okay, so that is the issue which is explained in this report. So the gross non-performing assets are now 8.2% in March 2020 when compared, in March 2020 they are 8.2%, now in March 2021 7.3%, very recently in September they are 6.9%. That means there is a decrease in the non-performing assets. Also they said that the capital to risk weighted asset ratio, okay, in March 2020 is 14.8, now it is 16.3%. So let us discuss what is non-performing asset, what is capital to risk weighted asset ratio. So if a person delays the payment of loan or amount on which there is if a person is not paying his principal amount or simply the interest amount for 90 days, then it is called non-performing asset. So generally for a bank, assets means loans. So as of take example, bank will give you loans. So loans are called assets of a bank. So the loan taker, some X person, he is not paying the loan for 90 days, for a more than a period of 90 days. So then that loan is called non-performing. So that asset is called non-performing assets. Okay. So if his bank is having non-performing assets, that is bank is not working well. Okay. Now what is capital risk weighted asset ratio or capital adequacy ratio? So that means the ratio of bank's capital to its risk. The ratio of bank's capital to its total risk. So by dividing the capital and risk, non-performing assets, you will get your capital risk weighted asset ratios. Okay. So generally what do banks do according to Basel norms? So in their profit, they will put certain amount as capital adequacy ratio in order to save the bank from bankruptcy. So few people are not paying back the loans. So that is why bank every year in their profits, they will keep certain amount as capital adequacy ratio to protect the bank from falling down, to prevent the bank from taking excess leverage and becoming insolvent in this process. Okay. So generally in India, for scheduled commercial banks, you need to keep a capital adequacy ratio of 9%, and for public sector banks, you need to keep a capital adequacy ratio of 12%. But now how much we are having? As we discussed, it is 16%. So a very good number. So how much you are maintaining the adequacy ratio, that much better the bank is. So we have 16, it is a very good sign. So RBI has given this report. RBI established 1935, headquartered in Mumbai, Governor is Shakti Kanta Das. So in the bank, they have launched green fixed deposits. Suppose if you are taking these green fixed deposits, So the money you are depositing in this amount, in this account, will go only to fund the green projects. So IndusInd Bank has brought this particular scheme called fixed deposits, green fixed deposits. So money in these deposits will be used to finance projects and firms that are supporting the sustainable development goals, mainly to support the environmental friendly projects. Okay, so these deposits are available for both retail and corporate customers. So bank will use this money to fund projects, like give loans to projects which include energy efficiency, renewable energy, green transport, sustainable food, agriculture, forestry, waste management and greenhouse gas reduction. If you are taking loan under this category, you will be given money from this green fixed deposits. So IndusInd Bank established 1994, headquartered Mumbai. Tagline: we care, they'll say, we make you feel richer. So Axis Bank is the second largest bank in point of sale mission sales. So it is the second largest merchant acquiring bank in the country, which installed nearly 2 lakh card swipe machines during this year. So this is part of the Axis One strategy. So mainly the bank market share in the number of devices was increased from 15% in January to 16% in October. So there is a 1% increase. So HDFC is leading this market in the point of sale machines. HDFC is leading first, next is Axis, next is SBI, fourth is ICICI. Okay, so SBI and ICICI, they gave to third party, they are running the business, but Axis Bank is running this own business within the bank. So Axis Bank established 1993, headquarters is in Mumbai. Tagline: Badti ka naam Zindagi. So India Credit Rating Agency, ICRA, so they have estimated that India's growth to be 9% in financial year 22 and financial year 23 amid the Omicron variant. So they said that India's growth rate is at 9% in the next 2 years. So India's credit rating agency, okay, it's an independent professional investment information and credit rating agency, mainly established by Moody's and many financial commercial banks in India. So it was established in 1991, headquartered in Gurugram. They estimated that India's growth rate will be 9% in financial year 2022 and 2023. Okay, so DRDO, so they have named Paras Defense for handing over the border surveillance systems technology. So DRDO, so which developed this border surveillance systems, so mainly the lab of DRDO, Instruments Research and Development Establishment. So this lab has developed the border surveillance systems. So they have transferred the technology to Paras Defense and Space Technologies. They will do mass production and they will cater the needs of Indian Armed Forces. Okay, so this particular border surveillance systems, they are all weather surveillance for day and night monitoring, mainly for border areas. They include radars, EVO sensors. Mainly they can be mounted on pan tilt platforms. Okay, so these particular devices are developed by the Instruments Research and Development Establishment of DRDO. So this technology is now transferred to the Paras Defense and Space Technologies Limited. Okay, under the licensing agreement for transfer of technology. Okay, the agreement happened between three organizations: Paras Defense, Instruments Research and Development Establishment and DRDO. So with this, Paras will do mass scale production and will cater the needs of armed forces of the country. Okay, so Paras Defense and Space Technology, it was established in 2009, headquartered in Mumbai, mainly engaged in design, develop, manufacture and testing of wide range of defense and space engineering products and solutions. So Instruments Research and Development Establishment, okay, so this particular laboratory is a lab of DRDO, established in 1960 in Dehradun. They mainly do R&D in the field of optical and electro-optical instrumentation. They develop products like night vision devices, electro-optical surveillance and fire control systems. So DRDO, they developed this. So DRDO established 1958, headquarters is in New Delhi, chairman is Satish Reddy. So next, Telangana topped in the list of, the scheme of Shyam Prakash Mukherjee Rural Mission. So Shyam Prakash Mukherjee Rural Mission implementation, in this implementation, Telangana secured first place among the 34 states and union territories. So Tamil Nadu secured second, Gujarat secured third. So this scheme is implemented in clusters. If you see the cluster ranking, out of 295 clusters, Raikal cluster of Sangareddy secured first, Jukal cluster of Kamareddy in Telangana secured second. So both Rangareddy and Kamareddy both are present in Telangana. So cluster also topped by Telangana. So third rank by Aibak cluster of Aizawl in Mizoram, they secured third rank. So in this program implementation, Telangana secured first position. Now, what is this program? Shyam Prakash Mukherjee Rurban Mission. So, this mission is launched by Rural Development Ministry in 2016. This is mainly with an aim to bridge the gap between rural and urban population by providing the rural population with equal facilities, technologies, and socio-economic development. The main objective of the program is to stimulate local economic development, enhance basic services, create well-planned urban clusters. Okay. So, according to this particular program, urban areas means a cluster of 15 to 20 villages having a population of 30 to 40 lakhs. So, in this mission, Telangana topped the particular scheme. So, National Dope Testing Laboratory has regained the WADA accreditation. So, WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency, they restored the accreditation to National Dope Testing Laboratory, which was suspended in 2019 because they did not comply with the global standards. So, our National Dope Testing Laboratory is the only lab in India. They did not have global standards. So, that is why their accreditation was suspended. Now, they regained their suspension. Okay, they regained their accreditation. So, this prohibited this lab to carry out anti-doping activities in analysis of urine and blood samples. So, because of this, we have sent our samples to Doha. So, it was very expensive process for us. So, and also during the Tokyo Olympics, we couldn't do anti-doping tests in India. So, this National Dope Testing Lab, which runs under the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, it's mainly responsible for human sports dope testing, established in 2008, headquartered in New Delhi. So, let us discuss about WADA, which gave the accreditation. So, it's established in Canada, in Montreal City in 1999, mainly to promote, coordinate and monitor the fight against drugs in sports. So, a book titled Dr. V.L. Dutt, Glimpse of a Pioneer's Life Journey. So, this book is authored by V.L. Indira Dutt. So, V.L. Indira Dutt has authored the book V.L. Dutt, Glimpse of Pioneer's Life Journey. So, Dr. V.L. Indira Dutt, she is the chairperson and managing director of KCP Cement, which is headquartered in Chennai. So, this book is a life story of Velagpudi Lakshmana Dutt, who is the founder chairman of KCP Group. Okay. So, this book about the legendary industrialist Mr. V.L. Dutt. Okay, very simple. So, next step. 7-time Rajya Sabha MP and industrialist Mahendra Prasad, he passed away recently. So, Mahendra Prasad is a 7-time Rajya Sabha member and a 1-time Lok Sabha member belonging to the Bihar state. So, he is a popular industrialist. He established the Aristo Pharmaceuticals. He passed away recently. So, please remember all these current affairs. We will quickly revise. So, blockchain based digital degrees were launched by IIT Kanpur. PM Modi laid foundation stone for hydro projects in Himachal Pradesh. Japan launched world's first dual mode vehicle. Haryana CM launched Haryana Kaushal Rozgar Nigam web portal. Karnataka has launched RuPay, e-RuPay platform with the help of NPCI and SBI. Vikram Mishri is the new Deputy National Security Advisor. CP Goyal is the Director General of Forests. RBI brought out trend and progress of banking in India. They discussed the non-performing assets and capital adequacy ratio. IndusInd Bank brought green fixed deposits. Axis Bank is second largest in point of sale missions or card swipe missions. So, India Credit Rating Agency, they estimated India's growth rate to be 9% in financial year 22 and financial year 23. So, Paras Defense and Space Technologies, they were given the border surveillance systems technology by DRDO. So, Telangana topped in the Shyam Prakash Mukherjee Rurban Mission. National Dope Testing Laboratory, they regained the World Anti-Doping Agency accreditation. So, V.L. Dutt, Glimpse of Pioneer Life's Journey is authored by V.L. Indira Dutt. 7-time Rajya Sabha MP and industrialist who passed away recently is Mahendra Prasad. So, these are all the current affairs for today. So, please quickly revise the current affairs and answer the MCQs at 7 p.m. in our Telegram channel. So, please subscribe our YouTube channel, like and share our videos, join the Telegram channel, download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We will provide the links in the description as well as comment section below. Thank you students, we will meet in the next class.